Most people are not losing because they lack talent. They are losing because they cannot wait. They trade tomorrow for today. They sacrifice greatness for comfort. They choose pleasure over progress, convenience over discipline, and instant rewards over lasting success. But every extraordinary life is built on one invisible skill: the ability to delay gratification. The people you admire learned something the average person never does. They discovered that every temptation resisted is an investment in a stronger future. This audiobook will teach you how to become one of them. Chapter 1. Stop living for today. Alone. Look around you. Everything in modern life is designed to make waiting feel unnecessary. You can order food without cooking, watch endless entertainment without leaving your chair, buy products with one click, scroll for hours without thinking, receive likes, notifications, and tiny bursts of validation every few minutes. The world keeps whispering the same message. Why wait? Why struggle? Why sacrifice? Why earn tomorrow what you can consume today? That message is comfortable. It is also dangerous, because the habits that make life easier today often make your future harder tomorrow. Every easy choice has a hidden cost. Remember that. Every easy choice has a hidden cost. Most people never stop long enough to ask themselves what those costs actually are. They only notice the immediate reward. They never calculate the future they are quietly giving away. You have a choice. Every single day. You can choose the quick reward, or you can choose the lasting reward. That's the key. The greatest competition you will ever face is not against other people. It is against your own desire for immediate comfort. Modern society profits from your impatience. Think about that. Entire industries are built around keeping you distracted. Streaming platforms want more of your attention. Social media wants more of your scrolling. Advertisers want more impulsive purchases. Fast food promises convenience. Credit cards promise instant ownership. Notifications promise constant excitement. None of these things are evil by themselves. The danger appears when they become your default way of living, when every uncomfortable feeling is immediately escaped, when every moment of boredom is instantly filled, when every desire demands immediate satisfaction. Your ability to wait begins to disappear, and when patience disappears, ambition slowly disappears with it. Every easy choice has a hidden cost. The cost may not appear today, but it always arrives. You skip today's workout. Nothing seems different. You skip tomorrow's workout. Still nothing dramatic. Weeks become months. Months become years. Now your body reflects thousands of comfortable decisions. You postpone reading one book. It doesn't matter. Then another. Then another. Years later, someone else possesses knowledge you never gained. The difference wasn't intelligence. It was patience. It was consistency. It was delayed gratification. Every easy choice has a hidden cost. The dangerous part is that instant gratification rarely feels destructive. It feels harmless. One more episode. One more purchase. One more excuse. One more hour wasted. One more promise to start tomorrow. Nothing feels serious. Until one day, you look around and realize that tomorrow has become 10 years. That realization hurts. Not because life was unfair, but because the small decisions were adding together the entire time. Success is never built in one massive decision. Failure isn't either. Life moves quietly, one decision at a time. Imagine two young people. They graduate at the same time. They have similar intelligence, similar opportunities, similar dreams. Neither has a special advantage. The first person chooses comfort whenever possible. After work, they seek entertainment. They spend impulsively. They avoid difficult conversations. They postpone learning. They reward themselves before earning anything. The second person lives differently. They still enjoy life, but they delay many pleasures. They invest before spending. They study after work. They exercise when they don't feel like it. They practice skills nobody asks them to practice. They save money instead of showing wealth. They think beyond today. For the first year, both lives look almost identical. After 3 years, the differences become noticeable. After 5 years, they become obvious. After 10 years, they appear to belong to completely different worlds. People watching from the outside call one person lucky. They call the other unfortunate. They rarely notice the thousands of invisible choices that created those outcomes. Your future is built one decision at a time. Repeat that. Your future is built one decision at a time. Not one giant opportunity. Not one lucky break. Not one magical moment. One decision, repeated, again and again. That's how character is built. That's how wealth grows. That's how confidence develops. That's how mastery appears. Most people underestimate small choices because they judge each decision in isolation. They ask, does this one decision really matter? The better question is different. What happens if I repeat this decision every day for 5 years? That changes everything. One unhealthy meal changes nothing. 5 years of unhealthy meals changes everything. One skipped workout changes nothing. 5 years of skipping workouts changes everything. 1 hour of focused learning changes little. 5 years of focused learning transforms your life. That's the key. The direction matters more than the speed. You don't need dramatic change. You need repeated change. You have a choice. Every temptation asks the same question. Do you want immediate comfort or future freedom? Most people answer without thinking. Successful people answer deliberately. They understand something others ignore. Delayed gratification is not punishment. It is investment. When you save money instead of spending it, you're investing. When you study instead of scrolling, you're investing. When you exercise instead of resting, you're investing. When you practice instead of complaining, you're investing. Every disciplined action sends something valuable into your future. You may not see the return immediately. That does not mean it isn't growing. Farmers understand this. They plant long before they harvest. Imagine how foolish it would be to dig up the seed every morning just to see whether it has grown. Yet people do exactly that with their goals. They work hard for 1 week, then quit because success hasn't appeared. They forget that meaningful growth spends a long time underground. The strongest roots are invisible. The same is true for your character. Nobody applauds the workout you completed alone. Nobody celebrates the money you chose not to spend. Nobody notices the distractions you refused. But those invisible victories are building someone new. The world eventually sees the results. It rarely sees the discipline that created them. That is why delayed gratification becomes the invisible foundation beneath nearly every extraordinary achievement. Look at great athletes. Years of practice before championships. Look at successful entrepreneurs. Years of uncertainty before recognition. Look at skilled artists. Years of repetition before mastery. Look at financially free people. Years of careful decisions before independence. The reward always comes after the discipline. Never before. The future belongs to those who can wait. Say it again. The future belongs to those who can wait. Not because waiting alone creates success, but because waiting allows discipline to compound. Waiting allows skills to mature. Waiting allows investments to grow. Waiting allows identity to strengthen. Most people quit because they become impatient. Winners continue because they trust the process. That is the difference. Not talent, not intelligence, not luck. Patience, discipline, delayed gratification. You don't need everyone's approval. You don't need instant results. You don't need constant excitement. You need consistency. You need perspective. You need the courage to choose tomorrow over today. Every easy choice has a hidden cost. Your future is built one decision at a time. The future belongs to those who can wait. These are not just phrases. They are principles that can completely reshape your life if you live by them. Today, you learned that every choice is quietly building your future, whether you realize it or not. The question is no longer whether your decisions matter. The question is which future they are creating. You have stopped living only for today. Now it's time to understand the greatest obstacle standing between you and the future you want. Chapter 2. Comfort is the most dangerous addiction. Comfort is not the enemy. The addiction to comfort is. There is a difference. Rest has its place. Recovery has its purpose. Peace is necessary. But when comfort becomes your default response to every challenge, it quietly begins to reshape your identity. Without realizing it, you stop asking, "What will help me grow?" and start asking, "What will make me feel good right now?" That single shift changes everything. You have a choice. Every morning, every decision, every opportunity. You can choose the familiar, or you can choose the uncomfortable path that leads somewhere better. That's the key. Most addictions do not begin dramatically. They begin with convenience. One skipped workout, one postponed conversation, one excuse, one unnecessary purchase, 1 hour of distraction. None of these moments feel important. In fact, they feel harmless. They even feel deserved. I've had a long day. I'll start tomorrow. I need a break. It won't matter this once. The problem is not the excuse itself. The problem is what repeated excuses teach your mind. They teach your brain that discomfort is something to avoid instead of something to master. Comfort slowly becomes dependency. Dependency quietly becomes weakness. Weakness eventually becomes your normal. Comfort feels safe. Growth never does. Repeat that until it becomes part of your thinking. Comfort feels safe. Growth never does. Think back to the greatest improvements in your own life. Were they comfortable? Probably not. Learning a new skill was uncomfortable. Starting a new job was uncomfortable. Having difficult conversations was uncomfortable. Saving money instead of spending it was uncomfortable. Changing your habits was uncomfortable. Everything that expanded your life first challenged your comfort. That is how growth works. Growth demands a price before it gives a reward. Comfort gives the reward first, then sends you the bill later. That bill arrives in many forms: lost opportunities, declining health, financial stress, unfulfilled potential, regret. People often believe resilience appears naturally. It doesn't. Resilience is earned. Every difficult situation you face without running away makes you stronger. Every uncomfortable decision you finish expands your capacity. Every challenge accepted increases your confidence. Confidence is not built by avoiding discomfort. Confidence is built by surviving it. That's why comfortable people often become anxious. The less discomfort you experience voluntarily, the more overwhelming unavoidable discomfort becomes. Life eventually brings challenges to everyone. Illness, loss, failure, rejection, economic hardship, conflict. You cannot avoid every storm, but you can prepare for them. The person who regularly trains through discomfort enters difficulty already stronger. The person who always seeks comfort enters difficulty completely unprepared. You have a choice. Train yourself now, or allow life to train you later. One path is voluntary, the other is not. Comfort feels safe. Growth never does. Consider fitness. Imagine two individuals. The first avoids exercise because it feels uncomfortable. They choose elevators instead of stairs. They sit whenever possible. They eat whatever satisfies immediate cravings. For years, everything feels fine. The second person chooses differently. They wake up early. They lift weights. They run when their legs are tired. They choose nutritious food even when junk food seems more appealing. The first person experiences comfort today. The second experiences discomfort today. Fast forward 15 years. Now the results reverse. The first person suffers chronic fatigue, declining mobility, and preventable health problems. The second enjoys strength, energy, and freedom. Who truly experienced more discomfort? The answer surprises many people. Temporary effort prevented permanent suffering. Short pain, long reward. Now think about education. One student studies consistently. Another studies only when absolutely necessary. The first sacrifices weekends. The second enjoys immediate freedom. Years later, one possesses valuable knowledge and greater opportunities. The other wonders why life feels harder than expected. Knowledge compounds exactly like discipline. Ignoring discomfort compounds as well. Again, short pain, long reward. Business follows the same principle. Successful entrepreneurs often spend years working while others sleep. They invest profits instead of spending them. They accept uncertainty. They delay luxury. Many people watching from the outside only notice success after it arrives. They never saw the years of discomfort that created it. Everyone wants the outcome. Very few accept the process. That's why success remains uncommon. Relationships are no different. Many people avoid difficult conversations because they fear conflict. Instead of addressing problems, they stay silent. Instead of telling the truth, they protect temporary comfort. Everything feels peaceful for a while. But unresolved issues continue growing beneath the surface. Months later, resentment appears. Trust disappears. The relationship begins to collapse. One uncomfortable conversation could have prevented years of emotional distance. Again, the principle remains unchanged. Short pain, long reward. Temporary honesty prevents permanent regret. The pattern is everywhere. Exercise, money, learning, career, marriage, friendship, parenting, leadership. Every meaningful area of life asks the same question. Will you accept small discomfort now, or much larger discomfort later? You have a choice. The mistake most people make is believing comfort has no price. It always does. The price is simply delayed. That delay makes it dangerous. Imagine standing at two different doors. The first door is labeled easy. The second is labeled difficult. Most people walk through the easy door without hesitation. What they don't realize is that after passing through it, another door appears. This one is labeled consequences. The difficult door works differently. You pass through struggle first. Then another door appears. It is labeled freedom. The order is reversed. One path gives comfort first and pain later. The other gives pain first and freedom later. Which life are you building? That's the key. As you begin paying attention, you'll notice something fascinating. Nearly every shortcut hides a trap. Every unnecessary convenience slowly weakens something inside you. If you always rely on motivation, discipline weakens. If you always seek entertainment, focus weakens. If you always avoid difficult conversations, courage weakens. If you always choose convenience, character weakens. Muscles grow through resistance. So does your mind. Resilience is built exactly the same way. You don't become mentally stronger by reading inspirational quotes. You become mentally stronger by repeatedly doing what your emotions tell you not to do. Getting out of bed when you want to stay asleep. Finishing the project when you feel like quitting. Saving money when you want to spend it. Remaining calm when anger feels easier. Showing patience when frustration feels justified. Every one of those moments is mental training. Every one of those moments is building someone different. Comfort feels safe. Growth never does. Eventually, you must learn to question comfort itself, not reject it completely. Question it. When something feels easy, pause. Ask yourself a better question. Is this helping my future or only satisfying my present? That single question can change your life. Before buying something, pause. Before skipping today's work, pause. Before avoiding the difficult conversation, pause. Before reaching for another distraction, pause. You have a choice. The goal is not to make life miserable. The goal is to stop assuming that easy automatically means good. Many of the greatest opportunities in your life will arrive disguised as discomfort. The promotion that requires greater responsibility. The business that demands uncertainty. The relationship that asks for vulnerability. The dream that forces you to become someone you've never been. If you worship comfort, you will reject every one of those opportunities. Not because you aren't capable, because you have trained yourself to avoid anything difficult. That is how comfort quietly steals the future. It never announces itself. It simply asks you to postpone growth one more day, one more excuse, one more delay, one more comfortable decision. Years later, you realize what was really taken. Not your money, not your time, your potential. Easy now, hard later. Repeat it. Easy now, hard later. Every easy decision carries tomorrow's burden. Every difficult decision carries tomorrow's reward. The people who build extraordinary lives understand this truth. They stop asking which path feels better today. They ask which path creates the person they want to become. You have learned that comfort is not harmless. Left unchecked, it becomes a silent addiction that slowly exchanges future freedom for present convenience. Now that you can recognize the trap of comfort, it's time to understand what happens when you consistently choose discipline instead. Chapter 3. Discipline pays compound interest. Most people understand compound interest when it comes to money. Few understand that it governs nearly every part of life. Your habits compound. Your thoughts compound. Your skills compound. Your confidence compounds. Your health compounds. Even your character compounds. Every day, whether you notice it or not, your actions are accumulating. Nothing stays still. You're either building momentum or losing it. You're either investing in your future or quietly borrowing against it. You have a choice. Every single day, you can make one small investment, or you can spend another day living only for the present. That's the key. People often search for dramatic breakthroughs because they underestimate small improvements. They believe success arrives through one extraordinary decision, one lucky opportunity, or one perfect moment. But life rarely changes that way. Life changes through repetition. One page becomes one book. One workout becomes a stronger body. $1 saved becomes financial freedom. One difficult conversation becomes a healthier relationship. 1 hour of focused practice becomes mastery. None of these actions look impressive by themselves. Together, they become extraordinary. Small choices become big lives. Repeat those words. Small choices become big lives. Think about a plane leaving an airport. If its direction changes by only 1 degree, nothing seems different during the first few minutes. The passengers notice nothing. The sky looks the same. Everything appears normal. But after several hours, that tiny change leads the plane hundreds of miles away from its original destination. Life works exactly the same way. Small daily decisions create massive differences over time. A 1-degree improvement repeated every day changes your destination. A 1-degree decline repeated every day does the same. The direction matters more than the speed. That is why discipline is so powerful. It rarely creates immediate transformation. It quietly changes your direction. Then, time does the rest. People often ask, what is the fastest way to change my life? The better question is different. What small action can I repeat for the next 5 years? That question builds extraordinary lives, because compound growth rewards consistency, not excitement. Imagine placing 1 brick every day. The first week, you have only a small pile. The first month, it still looks unimpressive. After a year, you have the foundation of something meaningful. After 10 years, you have built something that appears impossible to those who only saw the finished result. The building was never created in 1 day. It was created 1 brick at a time. Your future works exactly the same way. Small choices become big lives. Now think about reading. 1 chapter each day seems insignificant. Some people dismiss it because it feels too small. What difference can 10 pages really make? 10 pages become 300 pages each month. 300 pages become thousands every year. Thousands of pages become new ideas, better decisions, wider perspectives, stronger thinking, and opportunities that never existed before. Knowledge compounds, not overnight, over time. The same principle applies to money. Many people delay saving because the first amount seems too small. It isn't enough. So why bother? But wealth is rarely created through giant deposits. It grows through repeated discipline. A little invested consistently often outperforms large amounts invested occasionally. The habit matters more than the amount. Discipline matters more than income. Again, the principle remains the same. Small choices become big lives. Your body follows identical rules. 1 workout changes very little. You leave the gym looking almost the same. You feel almost the same. Your mirror reflects almost no difference. Many people become discouraged because they expect immediate transformation. They misunderstand how progress works. The body changes quietly. Muscles strengthen slowly. Endurance builds gradually. Energy increases steadily. One day, months later, people begin asking what changed. They only notice the visible results. They never saw the invisible repetition. The same is true for every meaningful skill. Learning a language, writing, public speaking, leadership, programming, music, sales, communication. None of these abilities appear suddenly. Each repetition strengthens pathways inside your brain. Every practice session builds on the previous one. The improvement is almost invisible from one day to the next, but undeniable after several years. That's why consistency beats talent, and consistency beats motivation. Consistency beats intensity. Repeat it. Consistency beats intensity. Many people attack their goals with enormous energy. For 1 week, they wake up at 5. exercise twice a day, read for hours, completely transform their routine. Then life becomes difficult. Energy fades. Motivation disappears. Everything stops. Weeks later, they begin again. Another burst. Another collapse. They mistake intensity for commitment. But intensity cannot replace consistency. Imagine watering a tree. Would pouring 1,000 gallons onto it in a single day help? Of course not. The tree needs regular care. Small amounts, repeated consistently. Your mind grows the same way. So does your character. So do your finances. So do your relationships. Steady effort produces lasting results. Extreme effort without consistency produces exhaustion. One person studies 30 minutes every day. Another studies 12 hours once every few weeks. Who learns more? One person saves a little every month. Another saves only when inspired. Who becomes financially secure? One person exercises 4 times every week. Another trains intensely for 2 weeks before quitting. Who becomes healthier? The answer is always the same. Consistency beats intensity. That's the key. There is another reason people abandon discipline too early. They misunderstand the nature of compound growth. In the beginning, progress feels painfully slow. Imagine a bamboo tree. For years, very little appears above the ground. Someone watching casually might assume nothing is happening. They would be wrong. The roots are expanding. The foundation is strengthening. The visible growth is delayed because invisible preparation comes first. Eventually, the bamboo begins growing rapidly. What appears to be sudden success is actually years of hidden preparation finally becoming visible. Human growth follows the same pattern. You spend months building habits. Nothing dramatic happens. You continue reading, continue exercising, continue practicing, continue saving, continue learning. Still, the results appear small. Many people quit here, not because discipline failed, because they expected visible rewards too early. They dug up the seed before it had time to grow. That is one of the greatest tragedies in personal development. People abandon the process just before it begins working. Remember this: the process is working long before the results become obvious. Every disciplined decision is strengthening roots you cannot yet see. Every repetition is laying another stone beneath the surface. You have a choice: trust appearances or trust principles. Successful people trust principles. They understand something others forget. Progress is often invisible until suddenly it isn't. The day your confidence seems effortless, the day your business becomes profitable, the day your body feels strong, the day your investments begin accelerating. Those moments are not miracles. They are compound interest finally becoming visible. That realization changes everything. Instead of asking, "Why isn't this working?" you begin asking, "What investment can I make today?" That question creates patience, and patience creates endurance. Patience is not passive. Patience is disciplined action without immediate reward. It is continuing when excitement disappears. It is believing in today's effort, even when tomorrow remains unseen. That is a competitive advantage, because most people cannot do it. They need immediate proof, immediate applause, immediate success. You do not. You understand that every worthwhile investment requires time. Keep planting. The harvest is coming. Say those words again. Keep planting. The harvest is coming. Every page you read is another seed. Every workout is another seed. Every dollar saved is another seed. Every temptation resisted is another seed. Every promise you keep to yourself is another seed. You may not harvest today. You may not harvest this month. But if you refuse to stop planting, the season of growth will come. That is not wishful thinking. It is how life works. The people living extraordinary lives today are not necessarily smarter than everyone else. In many cases, they simply started planting earlier, and they never stopped. Small choices become big lives. Consistency beats intensity. Keep planting. The harvest is coming. Those are not motivational slogans. They are the mathematics of success. You now understand that discipline is never wasted. Every small act of patience is earning invisible interest that will one day become impossible to ignore. Now that you understand how discipline compounds over time, it is time to master the emotional skill that allows you to stay committed while nothing seems to be happening. Chapter 4. Learn to love. Waiting. Most people do not hate hard work. They hate waiting. They can accept effort for a little while. They can accept discipline for a few days. What breaks them is the silence between the work and the reward. They plant the seed. Then they expect the harvest tomorrow. When it does not appear, they assume something is wrong. Nothing is wrong. That is simply how growth works. You have a choice. You can interpret waiting as failure, or you can recognize it as preparation. That's the key. Our culture has convinced us that speed equals success. Faster internet, faster delivery, faster communication, faster results. Everything around you teaches that waiting is an inconvenience, but nature teaches the opposite lesson. The strongest trees grow slowly. The deepest rivers are patient. The greatest mountains were not formed overnight. Everything truly valuable takes time. Yet people expect to build extraordinary lives at extraordinary speed. That expectation creates frustration. Frustration creates doubt. Doubt causes people to quit, not because they lack ability, because they misunderstand timing. Waiting is training. Repeat those words. Waiting is training. Waiting is not empty time. It is active time. It is the season where your character is tested. Anyone can remain disciplined when rewards arrive quickly. Very few remain disciplined when no one notices. That is why waiting separates committed people from merely interested people. The interested person asks, "When will I see results?" The committed person asks, "What can I improve while I wait?" Those are completely different mindsets. One depends on external rewards. The other depends on internal standards. Which person do you think succeeds over the long term? The answer is obvious. Imagine an athlete preparing for the biggest competition of their life. The audience sees one race, one performance, one medal ceremony. What they never see are the thousands of mornings that began before sunrise, the workouts completed while exhausted, the injuries managed quietly, the repetitions performed when no cameras were watching, the days when progress seemed invisible, the waiting. That waiting was not wasted. It was preparation. The race simply revealed what years of waiting had already created. Waiting is training. The same principle applies to business. People often describe successful entrepreneurs as overnight successes, but overnight success usually arrives after 10 years of invisible work. Before the profitable company came countless failed ideas. Before recognition came rejection. Before confidence came uncertainty. Before financial freedom came years of sacrifice. The headlines only tell the final chapter. They never describe the years spent writing the earlier ones. The world celebrates the launch. It ignores the preparation. The world applauds the victory. It overlooks the discipline. The world notices the success. It forgets the waiting. The world only sees the harvest. Remember that. The world only sees the harvest. Creators experience the same reality. An author writes hundreds of pages before readers ever hold the finished book. A musician practices thousands of hours before performing on stage. An artist fills countless sketchbooks before producing one masterpiece. A filmmaker spends years learning storytelling before creating work that moves millions. People see the finished product. They rarely imagine the years spent becoming capable of producing it. Invisible work creates visible success. Always. You have a choice. You can become discouraged because no one notices your effort. Or you can remember that the most important work usually happens before anyone is paying attention. That's the key. Think about building a house. Would you complain because the foundation is hidden underground? Of course not. Without that invisible foundation, the entire structure would eventually collapse. Your discipline is your foundation. Your patience is your foundation. Your delayed gratification is your foundation. Most people are obsessed with building visible success. Very few are willing to spend years strengthening invisible foundations. Yet those foundations determine everything. When life becomes difficult, shallow foundations crack. Strong foundations remain. That is why patience is strength, not weakness. There is another reason waiting feels uncomfortable. It exposes your emotions. When progress slows, doubt becomes louder. You begin questioning yourself. Am I wasting my time? Shouldn't I be further ahead? What if this never works? Those thoughts are normal. The mistake is believing them. Feelings are temporary. Principles are permanent. The principle has not changed. Disciplined actions compound. Time multiplies them. Results eventually appear. Nothing about that process changes because you become impatient. Impatience never accelerates growth. It only increases frustration. Imagine digging up a seed every morning to check whether it has grown. The seed cannot develop because it is constantly interrupted. Many people treat their goals exactly like that. They constantly change strategies, constantly switch careers, constantly abandon habits, constantly chase new opportunities. Not because the process failed, because they refused to wait long enough. Every restart forces them back to the beginning. Meanwhile, patient people continue watering the same seed. Months later, they begin seeing growth. Years later, others assume they were simply lucky. Luck had very little to do with it. Patience had everything to do with it. The world only sees the harvest. One of the greatest emotional skills you can develop is remaining calm during seasons when nothing appears to be changing. That calm is powerful because panic makes poor decisions. Fear creates unnecessary changes. Frustration destroys consistency. Emotional control protects long-term vision. Suppose you decide to become financially secure. The market declines. Your investments lose value. Many people panic. They sell. They abandon the very strategy that would have rewarded them if they had remained patient. The disciplined investor understands something different. Temporary setbacks do not erase long-term principles. The same is true for every meaningful goal. You exercise for months. Progress slows. Do you quit? You write every day. No audience appears. Do you stop? You study diligently. Recognition takes longer than expected. Do you abandon learning? Or do you continue because you understand that today's effort belongs to tomorrow's reward? You have a choice. Every season of waiting asks the same question. Will you trust your emotions, or will you trust your discipline? That's the key. Patience is not passive. Patience is disciplined action maintained over time. Patience is waking up and doing the work without demanding immediate applause. Patience is continuing after excitement disappears. Patience is believing that invisible progress is still progress. That mindset changes everything. Instead of measuring success by daily results, you begin measuring success by daily consistency. Did you keep your promise today? Did you complete the work? Did you become slightly stronger than yesterday? If the answer is yes, then you are succeeding, even if no visible reward has arrived yet. The danger comes when you confuse movement with progress. Many people constantly chase new opportunities because standing still feels uncomfortable. But changing direction every few weeks often delays success instead of accelerating it. A tree transplanted every month never develops deep roots. A person constantly abandoning one path for another never develops mastery. Sometimes the fastest way forward is to remain exactly where you are and continue doing the work. Don't rush the process. Repeat it. Don't rush the process. Growth has its own timeline. Skills have their own timeline. Character has its own timeline. Wisdom has its own timeline. You cannot force maturity. You cannot rush mastery. You cannot demand that tomorrow arrive today, but you can remain faithful to the process. You can continue planting. You can continue learning. You can continue improving. Every day you stay committed during invisible seasons, you become someone capable of handling visible success. That is why waiting is not punishment. Waiting is preparation. Waiting is refinement. Waiting is training. One day, people will admire your confidence. They will admire your achievements. They will admire your discipline. Many will believe your success happened quickly. Smile quietly, because you will know the truth. The world only sees the harvest. It never sees the thousands of ordinary days that made the harvest possible. Waiting is training. The world only sees the harvest. Don't rush the process. Carry those principles with you, because they will keep you steady when results seem far away. You have learned that patience is not wasted time. It is the workshop where discipline becomes character and effort becomes excellence. Those who can wait without losing faith eventually reach places that impatient people never see. Now that you understand how to remain committed during seasons of waiting, it is time to face the daily battles that determine whether your future grows stronger or weaker. Chapter 5. Every temptation is a test. Life rarely changes because of one enormous decision. It changes because of hundreds of small ones. The choices that shape your future are usually quiet, almost invisible. No audience, no applause, no dramatic music. Just another ordinary moment, another opportunity to choose, another temptation, another test. Most people think temptation is something negative that appears only once in a while. It is not. Temptation is woven into everyday life. It appears every time you stand at the intersection between what feels good now and what will be good later. That intersection is where your future is decided. You have a choice. Every hour, every day, every temptation asks the same question. Who are you becoming? That's the key. Many people imagine success as one great achievement. In reality, success is usually the accumulation of thousands of invisible victories over temptation. No one becomes disciplined overnight. No one becomes financially secure overnight. No one becomes physically strong overnight. No one becomes mentally resilient overnight. Each identity is built through repeated choices. Every temptation becomes a vote, not for what you want, for who you are becoming. Remember that. Every temptation becomes a vote for the person you are becoming. Imagine placing a vote into a ballot box. One vote seems insignificant. It doesn't decide the election. But thousands of votes do. Your habits work exactly the same way. One disciplined decision may not transform your life today, but repeated daily, those decisions determine the outcome of your future. Every choice counts. Repeat it. Every choice counts. People often say, it's only one day. It's only one purchase. It's only one missed workout. It's only one excuse. Individually, they may be right, but life never judges one decision by itself. Life judges patterns. Patterns create character. Character creates destiny. That is why you must stop asking whether one decision matters. Instead, ask whether you want this decision to become your pattern. If the answer is no, choose differently. Every choice counts. Temptation wears many disguises. Sometimes it looks exciting. Sometimes it looks harmless. Sometimes it even looks responsible. Its greatest strength is that it rarely introduces itself honestly. It doesn't say, I am here to steal your future. It says something much softer. You deserve this. You've worked hard. You can start tomorrow. Just this once. Nobody will know. Those words sound comforting, but comfort is often temptation wearing a friendly face. You have learned that lesson already. Now it is time to apply it. Let's begin with procrastination. Procrastination is not simply delaying work. It is choosing temporary emotional relief over long-term progress. When you postpone a difficult task, you experience immediate comfort. Stress decreases. Responsibility disappears for a moment. Your brain rewards that escape. But tomorrow, the task is still waiting. Now it is larger, heavier, more intimidating. The comfort was temporary. The consequences were not. Every time you begin, instead of delaying, you strengthen your ability to act despite discomfort. Every time you postpone, you strengthen avoidance. You are always training yourself. The only question is what you're training. Discipline grows one decision at a time. Now consider money. Overspending rarely begins with luxury. It begins with small emotional purchases. Buying things because you are bored, because you feel stressed, because everyone else has them, because owning something new briefly feels exciting. That excitement fades. The bill remains. Financial freedom is rarely destroyed by one enormous mistake. It is slowly weakened by repeated small ones. Each purchase asks a question. Do you value today's pleasure more than tomorrow's freedom? How you answer determines your future. Discipline grows one decision at a time. Then there are distractions. Perhaps no temptation is more common today. Your phone vibrates. A notification appears. A video suggests itself. One quick look becomes 20 minutes. 20 minutes becomes 2 hours. At the end of the day, you wonder where your time disappeared. It did not disappear. It was traded, minute by minute, choice by choice. Attention is one of the most valuable resources you possess. Where your attention goes, your future follows. Protect it. You have a choice. Every time something competes for your attention, ask yourself whether it deserves your future. That's the key. Your health faces similar tests. You know which foods nourish you. You know the value of movement. You know the importance of sleep. Yet temptation promises easier alternatives. Another dessert, another skipped workout, another late night. Again, the issue is not perfection. The issue is direction. One healthy decision encourages another. One unhealthy decision makes the next unhealthy decision easier. Momentum works both ways. That is why discipline becomes easier the more you practice it. Not because life becomes easier, because you become stronger. Discipline grows one decision at a time. Emotional reactions create another powerful temptation. Someone insults you. You immediately want to respond. Someone disappoints you. You want revenge. Someone criticizes you. You want to defend yourself. Immediate reactions often feel satisfying for a few seconds. Then the consequences begin. Damaged relationships, lost opportunities, words you cannot take back, respect that quietly disappears. Self-control is often the highest form of delayed gratification. Remaining calm today protects tomorrow. Pausing today prevents regret tomorrow. Silence today often creates strength tomorrow. Every emotional reaction asks the same question. Will your emotions lead you, or will your principles lead you? You have a choice. One of the greatest rewards of resisting temptation has nothing to do with money, success, or achievement. It is self-respect. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, something changes inside you. Your confidence grows, not because someone praised you, because you proved you could trust yourself. That trust becomes powerful. Imagine making a promise every morning and breaking it every evening. Eventually, would you believe yourself? Probably not. Now imagine making small promises and consistently keeping them. I will read 10 pages. Done. I will exercise today. Done. I will save this amount. Done. I will remain calm. Done. Each completed promise becomes evidence. Evidence creates belief. Belief creates identity. Identity creates behavior. That is why self-respect cannot be purchased. It must be earned. One disciplined decision at a time. Every temptation resisted becomes another brick in the foundation of your character. Nobody may notice. You will. And that is enough. Discipline grows one decision at a time. There is one habit that can dramatically improve every decision you make. Pause. That sounds simple, because it is. But simplicity should never be confused with weakness. The pause creates space. Without the pause, impulse wins. With the pause, wisdom has a chance to speak. Before answering in anger, pause. Before buying impulsively, pause. Before scrolling without purpose, pause. Before quitting, pause. Before saying yes, pause. Before saying no, pause. The pause interrupts automatic behavior. It reminds you that you are in control, not your emotions, not your cravings, not your habits, you. During that pause, ask yourself one powerful question. What will future me thank me for? Repeat it. What will future me thank me for? Future, you will never thank you for unnecessary debt. Future, you will never thank you for another excuse. Future, you will never thank you for abandoning your goals. But future, you will thank you for today's discipline, for today's workout, for today's reading, for today's patience, for today's honesty, for today's courage. The person you become tomorrow depends on the answers you give today. Every temptation offers two rewards, one immediate, one delayed. You cannot have both. You must choose. Most people spend their lives collecting immediate rewards and wondering why lasting success never arrives. The disciplined person reverses the equation. They sacrifice temporary pleasure. They receive permanent freedom. That exchange defines everything. Every choice counts. Discipline grows one decision at a time. What will future me thank me for? Carry those questions into every decision you make, because they transform ordinary moments into opportunities for extraordinary growth. You now understand that temptation is not your enemy. It is your daily teacher. Every time you choose your future over your impulses, you become a little stronger, a little wiser, and a little more capable of building the life you truly want. Now it is time to move beyond individual decisions and build something even more powerful. A new identity that makes discipline your natural way of living. Chapter 6. Build the identity of someone who waits. There comes a moment when discipline stops feeling like a struggle. Not because life becomes easier, not because temptation disappears, but because you stop arguing with yourself. That is one of the greatest transformations a human being can experience. You no longer ask whether you should do the right thing. You simply do it. Why? Because it has become part of who you are. That is the real goal. Not better habits, a better identity. You have a choice. You can spend your life forcing yourself to make good decisions. Or you can become the kind of person for whom good decisions are natural. That's the key. Most people approach self-improvement backwards. They focus entirely on behavior. They say things like, I need to exercise. I need to save money. I need to stop procrastinating. I need more discipline. Those goals are not wrong. They are simply incomplete. Behavior is the visible result. Identity is the invisible cause. If you change behavior without changing identity, you will constantly feel like you're fighting yourself. Eventually, you become exhausted. Eventually, old habits return. But when identity changes, behavior follows almost automatically. That changes everything. Delayed gratification becomes easier when it is no longer something you do. It becomes someone you are. This is who I am. Repeat those words. This is who I am. Think about someone who has never smoked. If you offer them a cigarette, they do not begin an internal debate. They do not spend 10 minutes negotiating. They simply say, no. Why? Because smoking is not part of their identity. Now think about someone trying to quit. The cigarette becomes a battle, an argument, a negotiation. Every refusal requires enormous effort. The behavior is different because the identity is different. The same principle applies to every habit. Someone who believes they are healthy does not constantly negotiate about exercising. Someone who believes they are financially responsible does not argue with every purchase. Someone who believes they are disciplined does not bargain with every distraction. Their identity has already answered the question. You want your identity to make decisions before temptation ever arrives. This is who I am. That simple sentence removes countless unnecessary battles. Winners understand this. They do not negotiate with every decision. Imagine waking up every morning and asking yourself whether you should brush your teeth. Sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? Why? Because the decision has already been made. It is part of your identity. You are someone who brushes your teeth. There is no debate. Now imagine treating discipline the same way. Should I keep my promise today? The answer has already been decided. Should I exercise? Already decided. Should I save instead of overspend? Already decided. Should I continue learning? Already decided. Should I choose long-term success over temporary comfort? Already decided. The more decisions your identity makes for you, the less energy you waste. Decision fatigue disappears. Mental strength increases. Progress accelerates. This is who I am. Many people rely on motivation. Motivation is emotional. Identity is structural. Motivation changes with your mood. Identity remains stable. Some mornings you feel inspired. Some mornings you feel tired. Some mornings you feel confident. Some mornings you doubt yourself. If your actions depend on feelings, your progress will always be unpredictable. If your actions depend on identity, your feelings become far less important. The disciplined person says, I do this because this is who I am, not because they feel like it. That difference separates amateurs from professionals. Professionals trust systems. Amateurs trust emotions. Identity creates behavior. Repeat it. Identity creates behavior. Imagine two people standing beside each other. Both want to write a book. The first says, "I'm trying to become a writer." The second says, "I am a writer." At first, the difference sounds small. It isn't. The first person waits for inspiration. The second person writes because writers write. One depends on emotion. The other depends on identity. Imagine two people trying to save money. One says, "I'm trying not to spend." The other says, "I am someone who invests in my future." Again, different identity, different behavior. Imagine two people building discipline. One constantly says, "I hope I stay consistent." The other says, "I keep promises to myself." Which person do you believe will remain disciplined during difficult seasons? The answer is obvious. Identity creates behavior. When you believe something about yourself, your brain naturally searches for evidence to support that belief. If you believe you are lazy, every skipped opportunity confirms it. If you believe you lack discipline, every mistake strengthens that story. But identity works both ways. If you begin believing you're becoming disciplined, your brain starts noticing every disciplined action. Those actions become proof. Proof strengthens identity. Identity strengthens behavior. Behavior creates more proof. A powerful cycle begins. That is why changing your internal story matters. Stop introducing yourself through your weaknesses. Stop repeating sentences that imprison your future. I'm always late. I never finish anything. I have no self-control. I've always been this way. Every one of those statements becomes a blueprint. Replace them. Say instead, "I finish what I start. I honor my commitments. I build my future every day. I choose long-term rewards. I am disciplined." At first, those words may feel unfamiliar. That is normal. Identity is not changed by one sentence. It is changed by repeated evidence, which brings us to the most important practice of all. Collect victories. Small ones, daily ones, invisible ones. Most people wait for enormous achievements before feeling proud of themselves. That is a mistake. Celebrate evidence, not outcomes. Did you wake up when you promised? Evidence. Did you resist unnecessary spending? Evidence. Did you read 10 pages? Evidence. Did you stay calm during a difficult conversation? Evidence. Did you complete your workout? Evidence. Each victory tells your mind the same message. This is who I am. Do not underestimate the power of these moments. One victory changes very little. 100 victories reshape your identity. 1,000 victories transform your life. Become the person first. Repeat it. Become the person first. Many people believe success creates confidence. Often, the opposite is true. Confidence grows because you repeatedly act like the person you wish to become. Long before anyone else notices. Long before the results appear. You become disciplined by practicing discipline. You become patient by practicing patience. You become trustworthy by keeping promises. You become resilient by refusing to quit. Identity is earned, not imagined. Every ordinary day gives you another opportunity to strengthen it. There will still be difficult mornings. There will still be temptation. There will still be setbacks. Identity does not eliminate struggle. It gives you something stronger than motivation. It gives you consistency. When you stumble, identity reminds you who you are. You do not say, "I have failed." You say, "That action does not match the person I am becoming." Then you return to the path, immediately, without drama, without self-pity, without excuses. Because one mistake does not define identity. Repeated choices do. That perspective protects you from perfectionism. You no longer expect flawless performance. You expect faithful progress. You have a choice every day, every hour, every temptation. Will you reinforce your old identity or strengthen the new one? That's the key. Delayed gratification becomes far easier when your future is no longer something you occasionally think about. It becomes part of your identity. You're someone who waits, someone who prepares, someone who invests, someone who finishes, someone who chooses tomorrow over today. This is who I am. Identity creates behavior. Become the person first. Carry these truths with you. Every disciplined decision is no longer just a good choice. It is evidence of the person you are becoming. Over time, those pieces of evidence become stronger than any temporary emotion. You have learned that lasting change begins inside. Before your habits become automatic, your identity must become undeniable. Now it is time to challenge one of the greatest illusions of modern success, the belief that faster is always better. Chapter 7. Stop chasing fast success. As one of the greatest lies ever sold is this: if you can get there faster, you should. Modern culture worships speed, faster promotions, faster profits, faster weight loss, faster followers, faster results. Every advertisement promises a shortcut. Every headline celebrates instant success. Every trend tells you that if something takes time, something must be wrong. But reality operates by different rules. The strongest things grow slowly. The weakest things grow quickly. You have a choice. You can chase speed, or you can build strength. That's the key. People love shortcuts because shortcuts appear to save time. Ironically, they often waste the most time. Think about someone who constantly searches for the perfect productivity system. Every week, they discover a new app, a new planner, a new routine, a new method. They spend months reorganizing instead of working. Meanwhile, someone else quietly follows one simple system every day. Years later, the second person has completed dozens of meaningful projects. The first person has collected dozens of unfinished plans. The shortcut became the delay. This pattern appears everywhere. People search for investment secrets instead of learning financial discipline. They search for miracle diets instead of building healthy habits. They search for business hacks instead of creating value consistently. They search for motivational videos instead of developing self-control. The desire for shortcuts often becomes the longest path of all, because every shortcut encourages you to skip the very process that builds competence. Slow is strong. Repeat it. Slow is strong. There is a reason strong buildings require deep foundations. Imagine constructing a skyscraper. Would you tell the engineers to skip reinforcing the foundation so the building could be finished sooner? Of course not. Everyone understands that the taller the building, the stronger the foundation must be. Yet people expect to build extraordinary lives on weak foundations. They want confidence without experience, wealth without discipline, influence without integrity, leadership without responsibility, mastery without practice, success without patience. It doesn't work. If the foundation is weak, the structure eventually collapses. Life is remarkably patient. It allows weak foundations to appear successful for a while. Eventually, reality collects the debt. Businesses fail because systems were never built. Relationships collapse because trust was never developed. Careers stall because skills were never mastered. Health declines because discipline was postponed. The collapse seems sudden. The weakness was years in the making. That is why slow progress is not your enemy. Weak preparation is. Slow is strong. Look at nature. A mushroom appears almost overnight. An oak tree takes decades. Which one survives storms? Which one lives for generations? Which one provides lasting shelter? Speed and strength are rarely companions. Endurance demands time. The same principle applies to you. Every day, you choose the slower path of discipline over the faster path of convenience. You're strengthening roots that no one else can see. Those roots will support opportunities that would crush a weaker person. Many people become discouraged because someone else appears to be succeeding faster. Comparison creates unnecessary frustration. You're watching their highlight, not their history. This brings us to one of the greatest myths in modern life: the myth of overnight success. People love stories that begin with sudden fame, sudden wealth, sudden recognition, sudden influence. They make exciting headlines. What headlines rarely include are the years that came before. The entrepreneur who became successful after 12 years of failure. The athlete who trained before sunrise for 15 years. The author who collected rejection letters before publishing a bestseller. The musician who performed for nearly empty audiences before filling stadiums. The scientist who spent decades researching before making one breakthrough. The public only sees the moment success becomes visible. They almost never see the years that made visibility possible. Nothing meaningful happens overnight. Repeat it. Nothing meaningful happens overnight. Think about an iceberg. Only a small portion appears above the surface. The massive foundation remains hidden underwater. Success works exactly the same way. The visible achievement represents only a fraction of the story. Beneath it are years of discipline, failure, learning, sacrifice, waiting, delayed gratification. People admire the tip. They ignore the mountain beneath it. This misunderstanding creates unrealistic expectations. Someone starts exercising for 2 weeks. Nothing dramatic happens. They quit. Someone launches a business. 6 months later, it isn't profitable. They quit. Someone begins writing. A few months pass without recognition. They quit. Not because the dream was impossible, because they believed meaningful results should arrive quickly. The expectation destroyed the opportunity. Remember this: the timeline of growth is almost always longer than your emotions would prefer. Your emotions demand immediate proof. Reality rewards persistent effort. Those are two very different systems. You have a choice: trust your emotions or trust the process. That's the key. Imagine planting an apple tree. Would you become angry because it produced no apples after 2 weeks? Of course not. You understand that growth follows seasons. Roots first, branches next, fruit later. Yet many people refuse to give themselves the same patience they would naturally give a tree. They expect immediate mastery, immediate confidence, immediate success. Real growth never follows emotional deadlines. It follows natural development. That truth should not discourage you. It should free you. You no longer need to panic because progress feels slow. Slow is often normal. Slow is often healthy. Slow is often sustainable. Slow is strong. One of the greatest shifts you can make is changing how you measure progress. Most people measure progress by speed. How quickly am I succeeding? That question creates anxiety because someone will always appear to move faster. Instead, ask a better question. Am I becoming more consistent? Consistency is something you control. Speed often is not. You cannot control when the market recognizes your work. You cannot control when opportunities appear. You cannot control when other people notice your effort. But you can control today's actions. Did you show up? Did you improve? Did you honor your commitments? If the answer is yes, then you are moving forward. Whether the world notices or not, that mindset removes enormous emotional pressure. Progress stops feeling like a race. It becomes a practice. Every day becomes another opportunity to strengthen the person you're becoming, not another opportunity to compare yourself to others. Long-term thinking protects your peace. When you understand that meaningful goals require years instead of weeks, temporary setbacks lose much of their power. A difficult month no longer feels like failure. One disappointing year no longer destroys your confidence. You stop reacting emotionally to short-term fluctuations because your attention is fixed on something much larger. The future. That is the advantage of delayed gratification. You stop living from emotion to emotion. You begin living from principle to principle. Imagine watching a master craftsperson shaping a piece of wood. They are never in a hurry. Every cut is deliberate. Every measurement matters. They know that rushing one step may ruin everything that follows. Your life deserves that same level of patience. Your character deserves careful construction. Your future deserves thoughtful preparation. Do not rush because the world is impatient. Do not abandon your standards because others seek shortcuts. Remember what you have already learned. Comfort delays growth. Discipline compounds. Waiting is training. Identity creates behavior. Now add another principle. Play the long game. Repeat it. Play the long game. When everyone else is chasing immediate applause, continue building quietly. When everyone else is searching for shortcuts, continue mastering the fundamentals. When everyone else becomes discouraged by slow progress, continue showing up. The long game always favors those who remain. Years from now, people may call you fortunate. They may say your success happened naturally. They may wonder what secret you discovered. Smile, because you will know the truth. There was no secret. Only patience. Only consistency. Only discipline repeated long after most people gave up. Slow is strong. Nothing meaningful happens overnight. Play the long game. Those are not comforting ideas for people seeking instant rewards. They are liberating truths for people determined to build lasting success. You now understand that speed is not the goal. Endurance is. The strongest lives are not built by those who move the fastest, but by those who refuse to stop moving forward. Now that you have rejected the illusion of fast success, it is time to master the battlefield where every disciplined life is either strengthened or defeated. Your own mind. Chapter 8. Train your brain to ignore immediate pleasure. Your greatest battle is not happening around you. It is happening inside you. Every day, your brain is making thousands of tiny decisions before you're even fully aware of them. Many of those decisions are driven by one simple objective. Seek pleasure. Avoid discomfort. Conserve energy. From a survival perspective, this made perfect sense. For most of human history, food was scarce, danger was everywhere, and conserving energy increased the chances of survival. But the world has changed faster than your brain has. Today, food is abundant. Entertainment is endless. Distractions are available 24 hours a day. Pleasure is only one click away. Your brain still follows ancient programming in a modern environment. That is why discipline feels difficult. Not because something is wrong with you, because your brain is doing exactly what it evolved to do. You have a choice. You can allow your instincts to lead your life, or you can train your mind to serve your future instead of your impulses. That's the key. Many people believe they fail because they lack willpower. The truth is often much simpler. They never learned to recognize the impulse before acting on it. Everything happens so quickly. The phone buzzes. Your hand reaches for it. You feel stressed. You open the refrigerator. You feel bored. You start scrolling. You feel criticized. You react emotionally. The action happens almost automatically. There is almost no space between the feeling and the behavior. That space is where freedom lives. Notice the impulse. Repeat those words. Notice the impulse. You cannot control what you fail to notice. Awareness always comes before change. Imagine driving a car with your eyes closed. No matter how powerful the engine is, you will eventually crash. Awareness is like opening your eyes. Suddenly, you see the road. You notice the turns. You recognize the dangers before they control you. Your thoughts work exactly the same way. Most impulses announce themselves quietly. I'll just check my phone for a minute. I deserve another snack. I'll start tomorrow. I don't feel like doing this. If you immediately obey those thoughts, they become your master. If you observe them without immediately reacting, something remarkable happens. You realize you're not your impulses. You are the observer. That changes everything. An impulse is not an order. It is simply a suggestion. You decide whether to accept it. Notice the impulse. The next step is surprisingly simple. Pause. Do not rush. One deep breath. One moment of silence. One conscious decision. Most poor decisions happen because people react before they think. The pause interrupts that pattern. Suppose someone insults you. Your first impulse is to attack. Pause. Suppose you suddenly want to buy something unnecessary. Pause. Suppose you want to skip today's work. Pause. Suppose you crave another hour of meaningless distraction. Pause. That brief interruption gives your wiser mind time to speak. Without the pause, emotion leads. With the pause, principles lead. You have a choice: reaction or response. That's the key. Another powerful practice is delaying decisions. Notice that this chapter is not asking you to eliminate every desire immediately. Sometimes simply delaying it is enough. Tell yourself, I can have this later, not now. Later. If you want junk food, wait 30 minutes. If you want to make an impulsive purchase, wait 24 hours. If you want to quit today's work, finish one more task first. If you want to respond in anger, sleep on it. Something fascinating often happens. The urge weakens. The emotional intensity fades. What seemed urgent begins to lose its power. Many desires survive only because we satisfy them immediately. Delayed gratification allows emotions to settle before decisions are made. The result is almost always wiser choices. Notice the impulse, then delay the response. One of the biggest mistakes people make is believing discipline depends entirely on inner strength. It doesn't. Your environment is shaping your behavior every single day. Imagine placing a bowl of candy beside your desk. How much self-control will that require? Now imagine removing the candy completely. Which situation is easier? The answer is obvious. Yet people constantly surround themselves with temptations and then blame themselves for struggling. Your environment is either helping your discipline or fighting against it. Control the environment before controlling yourself. Repeat it. Control the environment before controlling yourself. If your phone constantly distracts you, place it in another room while you work. If unhealthy food tempts you, stop bringing it into your home. If certain websites waste your time, block them. If negative people weaken your discipline, spend less time around them. Success becomes much easier when temptation is less available. This is not weakness, it is wisdom. Professional athletes organize their lives around performance. Successful entrepreneurs structure their calendars carefully. Highly disciplined people design environments that make good decisions easier. They do not rely on endless willpower. They rely on intelligent systems. You should do the same. Control the environment before controlling yourself. Another powerful strategy is replacing habits instead of simply removing them. Nature dislikes empty spaces. So does your mind. If you only eliminate a habit, another one usually takes its place. Replace it instead. Replace mindless scrolling with reading. Replace emotional eating with walking. Replace complaining with journaling. Replace late-night entertainment with sleep. Replace unnecessary spending with investing. Replace gossip with learning. Do not simply remove temptation. Replace it with something that serves your future. Your brain still receives satisfaction, but now the reward moves you forward instead of holding you back. Remember, your goal is not to eliminate pleasure. Your goal is to stop letting pleasure control your decisions. There is a profound difference. One creates freedom, the other creates dependence. Every time you resist an unnecessary impulse, something invisible happens inside your brain. You become stronger, not physically, mentally. Imagine your self-control as a muscle. One repetition changes very little. Hundreds of repetitions create noticeable strength. Thousands reshape your entire life. Every resisted urge becomes another repetition. Every pause becomes another repetition. Every delayed decision becomes another repetition. Every temptation ignored becomes another repetition. The work may feel invisible. The results are not. Strength grows through resistance. Repeat it. Strength grows through resistance. No one becomes mentally strong by always choosing what is easy. Mental strength grows exactly the same way physical strength does. Resistance, recovery, repetition, again and again. Every difficult decision expands your capacity for the next one. That is why discipline often feels hardest at the beginning. Your mental muscles are still developing. Many people mistakenly believe successful people experience fewer temptations. Often, the opposite is true. The difference is not the absence of temptation. It is the presence of training. A marathon runner still feels tired. A disciplined investor still feels fear. A successful writer still experiences procrastination. A patient parent still feels frustration. They simply no longer obey every feeling. That is emotional maturity. That is self-command. Imagine standing beside a river. Thoughts float past like leaves on the water. Some leaves carry fear. Others carry anger. Others carry craving. Others carry doubt. You do not need to jump into the river every time a leaf appears. You can simply watch it pass. The same is true for your impulses. Notice them. Observe them. Do not immediately become them. That separation creates freedom. You begin understanding something extraordinary. You're not controlled by every thought that enters your mind. You're defined by the actions you choose after those thoughts appear. You have a choice. Every urge asks, "Will you follow me?" You do not have to answer yes. Sometimes the strongest answer is silence. Sometimes the strongest action is waiting. Sometimes the strongest victory is invisible. Nobody will applaud the impulse you resisted. Nobody will celebrate the purchase you never made. Nobody will congratulate the angry words you never spoke. But every one of those unseen victories is strengthening your character. They are changing your identity. They are preparing you for greater responsibilities. Notice the impulse. Control the environment before controlling yourself. Strength grows through resistance. Carry those principles into every day of your life. You now understand that self-control is not a gift reserved for a fortunate few. It is a skill that grows every time you refuse to let your impulses make your decisions. The more you practice, the stronger you become. Now there is only one lesson left before everything comes together. It is time to see why the greatest rewards in life are never immediate, and why those who can wait ultimately receive what impatient people never will. Chapter 9. The greatest rewards always arrive late. One of the hardest truths to accept is also one of the most liberating. The best things in life almost never arrive quickly. Not because life is unfair, because life is testing whether you truly value them. Anyone can desire success. Very few are willing to become the person capable of sustaining it. That transformation cannot be rushed. It happens one day at a time, one decision at a time, one season at a time. You have a choice. You can demand immediate rewards, or you can prepare yourself for lasting ones. That's the key. Think about the greatest achievements you admire: a respected career, financial independence, deep wisdom, exceptional physical health, a peaceful mind, a loving family, mastery of a craft. None of these are built in days. None of them are built in weeks. Most require years, sometimes decades. That reality frustrates people who measure life by speed, but it empowers people who measure life by direction. Great things take time. Repeat those words. Great things take time. Imagine meeting a master pianist. You hear flawless music. The performance feels effortless. What you do not hear are the thousands of hours of imperfect practice, the wrong notes, the repetitive exercises, the lonely evenings, the moments when improvement felt invisible. The audience experiences 10 beautiful minutes. The musician lived through 20 years of preparation. That is how mastery always works. Visible excellence grows from invisible repetition. The same is true for every profession. Doctors spend years studying before treating patients. Engineers spend years learning before designing structures. Craftspeople spend years refining their skills before producing exceptional work. Leaders spend years making difficult decisions before earning lasting respect. Wisdom cannot be downloaded. It must be lived. It must be earned. Great things take time. Careers follow the same principle. Many people become discouraged because promotions come slowly. Recognition takes longer than expected. Opportunities seem delayed. They begin believing that effort is pointless. But careers are not built through isolated moments. They are built through accumulated trust. Every promise kept. Every problem solved. Every difficult project completed. Every challenge handled with integrity. Your reputation grows quietly, long before others openly acknowledge it. Eventually, someone says, "You seem to have become successful overnight." Smile, because you know they are only seeing the result, not the years of preparation behind it. Wealth follows exactly the same law. People often dream about becoming rich quickly. That dream has ruined countless lives. Quick money attracts quick decisions. Quick decisions often create lasting regret. Real wealth usually grows slowly, saving, investing, learning, building, improving, waiting, compounding. Financial freedom set rewards patience far more than excitement. Money that arrives too quickly often disappears just as quickly. Money built patiently usually arrives with the wisdom necessary to protect it. Again, great things take time. Relationships teach this lesson perhaps better than anything else. Trust cannot be demanded. It must be earned. Respect cannot be purchased. It must be demonstrated. Love cannot be rushed. It must be nurtured. Meaningful relationships are built through countless ordinary moments. Listening, keeping promises, being present, choosing forgiveness, remaining loyal. These moments rarely feel dramatic, yet together they create bonds capable of lasting a lifetime. Anything built too quickly often breaks just as quickly. Strong relationships, like strong character, require patient construction. You have a choice. You can seek what is fast, or you can build what lasts. That's the key. Modern culture constantly confuses pleasure with fulfillment. They are not the same. Pleasure is immediate. Fulfillment is earned. Pleasure asks, what feels good right now? Fulfillment asks, what creates a meaningful life? Pleasure fades quickly. Fulfillment grows deeper over time. Eating unhealthy food may create temporary pleasure. Building a healthy body creates lasting fulfillment. Buying something unnecessary may create excitement for a few hours. Financial freedom creates peace for decades. Avoiding difficult conversations may feel comfortable today. Resolving conflict creates stronger relationships for years. The pattern never changes. Temporary pleasure often postpones permanent fulfillment. Meaningful success always asks for sacrifice first. That is one of life's unbreakable laws. Pay first, receive later. Repeat it. Pay first, receive later. Want a healthy body? Pay first. Exercise, discipline, nutrition, patience. Want financial security? Pay first. Budget, invest. Delay unnecessary spending. Continue learning. Want meaningful relationships? Pay first. Time, honesty, forgiveness, commitment. Want mastery? Pay first. Practice, failure, persistence, humility. The payment always comes before the reward. Many people abandon their dreams because they misunderstand this sequence. They expect to receive before they pay. Life does not operate that way. The farmer plants before harvesting. The student studies before graduating. The builder lays the foundation before completing the house. Every worthwhile achievement follows the same order. Pay first, receive later. The beauty of delayed gratification is that it transforms sacrifice itself. At first, sacrifice feels like loss. Later, you realize it was an investment. When you skip unnecessary spending, you are not losing money. You're purchasing future freedom. When you wake up early to work on your goals, you're not losing sleep. You're investing in opportunity. When you resist distraction, you're not missing entertainment. You're protecting your potential. Perspective changes everything. What once felt like deprivation becomes empowerment. You stop asking, what am I giving up? You begin asking, what am I building? That question changes your emotional relationship with discipline. Sacrifice no longer feels heavy. It feels meaningful. One reason people become emotionally unstable is because they constantly judge progress by visible results. If today's effort produces no obvious reward, they assume they are failing. But visible results are only one form of progress. Invisible progress matters just as much. Every page you read strengthens your thinking. Every workout strengthens your discipline. Every dollar invested strengthens your future. Every temptation resisted strengthens your character, even when nothing appears different. Progress is happening. Trust the unseen progress. Repeat it. Trust the unseen progress. Imagine building a bridge across a river. Each day, you place another beam, another support, another section. Standing on one side, the bridge may still appear unfinished. Someone walking past might conclude that very little has changed. But you know the truth. The structure grows stronger every day. Eventually, one final section connects both sides. Suddenly, everyone notices. They call it remarkable. They never saw the thousands of careful steps that made the final connection possible. Life often works this way. The breakthrough arrives suddenly. The preparation did not. Faith in the process is not blind optimism. It is confidence built upon principles. You already know how compound growth works. You know that discipline accumulates. You know that waiting strengthens character. You know that identity shapes behavior. You know that shortcuts weaken foundations. These truths do not change simply because today's results are invisible. Your responsibility is not to control the timeline. Your responsibility is to remain faithful to the process. That realization creates emotional stability. When progress feels slow, you remain calm. When setbacks appear, you remain steady. When others become impatient, you continue working, not because you know exactly when success will arrive, because you know exactly how success is built. One disciplined day at a time. That certainty removes unnecessary anxiety. You no longer need constant reassurance. You no longer depend on immediate applause. Your confidence comes from your habits, not from temporary outcomes. You have a choice. Every morning, will you trust your emotions, or will you trust the principles that have guided every extraordinary life throughout history? That's the key. Great things take time. Pay first. Receive later. Trust the unseen progress. These are not merely encouraging words. They are the rhythm of reality. The people who ultimately achieve the greatest rewards are rarely the most impatient. They are the ones who continue building when the work is invisible, continue believing when the evidence is incomplete, and continue moving when others have already stopped. You have now learned why life's greatest rewards always arrive late. The final step is to unite every lesson from this journey into one identity. A person whose future is no longer left to chance, but is built deliberately through disciplined choices. Chapter 10. Become the person the future rewards. Everything you have learned in this audiobook leads to one final truth. Delayed gratification is not simply a habit. It is an identity. It is not something you occasionally practice when you feel motivated. It becomes the lens through which you make every decision. That is the transformation. Not from undisciplined to disciplined. Not from impatient to patient. But from someone who reacts to life to someone who deliberately creates it. You have a choice. Every day. Every hour. Every moment. You can continue asking, what do I want right now? Or you can begin asking, who am I becoming? That's the key. Those two questions create completely different lives. The first question is controlled by emotion. The second is guided by purpose. The first seeks comfort. The second seeks character. The first looks at today. The second builds tomorrow. Most people never realize that every ordinary decision is quietly answering the second question. Who am I becoming? Every excuse answers it. Every promise kept answers it. Every temptation resisted answers it. Every sacrifice accepted answers it. Your identity is never formed in dramatic moments alone. It is shaped in ordinary moments repeated consistently. The future is built today. Repeat those words. The future is built today. Not next week. Not next year. Not when conditions improve. Today, right now. Because tomorrow is simply today's habits repeated once more. Think about the person you hope to become 10 years from now. Confident, calm, financially secure, healthy, wise, respected, disciplined. Now ask yourself a better question. What would that person do today? Would they waste hours on meaningless distractions? Would they repeatedly break promises to themselves? Would they avoid difficult conversations? Would they surrender to every emotional impulse? Of course not. Then why should you? Your future identity should begin directing your present behavior. Not the other way around. That is how transformation happens. You stop acting according to your current feelings. You begin acting according to your future standards. The future is built today. Throughout this journey, you have discovered one powerful truth after another. Comfort delays growth. Discipline compounds. Waiting is training. Identity creates behavior. Slow is strong. Strength grows through resistance. Great things take time. None of these ideas stand alone. Together, they create a complete philosophy for living. A philosophy built on patience instead of impulse, purpose instead of distraction, freedom instead of dependence. Everything connects. Nothing has been separate. Every lesson has been preparing you for this moment. The decision to become someone different. Not tomorrow, now. Many people wait for a dramatic turning point. A new year, a birthday, a crisis, a major opportunity. But identity does not require dramatic beginnings. It requires ordinary consistency. A new life begins with one different decision, then another, then another. Eventually, those decisions become habits. Those habits become character. That character becomes destiny. You have a choice. The direction of your life is never decided once. It is decided daily. That's the key. Delayed gratification is rarely practiced through heroic acts. Most of the time, it is almost invisible. Choosing water instead of another sugary drink. Reading another chapter instead of another hour of scrolling. Saving money instead of buying something unnecessary. Remaining silent instead of reacting emotionally. Finishing today's work before relaxing. Getting out of bed when the alarm rings. Listening carefully instead of interrupting. Walking away from unnecessary conflict. Going to sleep on time. Keeping one more promise. None of these actions will appear on the evening news. No one will congratulate you. No audience will applaud. Yet each one changes your future. Each one strengthens your character. Each one increases your freedom. Every decision builds tomorrow. Repeat it. Every decision builds tomorrow. Never underestimate the power of one disciplined choice. One choice becomes another. Another becomes a habit. A habit becomes a lifestyle. A lifestyle becomes your identity. That identity shapes every opportunity that follows. People often believe freedom means doing whatever they feel like doing. Real freedom is different. Real freedom is no longer being controlled by every feeling. It is choosing your actions instead of obeying your impulses. It is deciding your future instead of reacting to your present. That freedom cannot be purchased. It must be earned. One decision at a time. Every temptation resisted becomes another investment. Imagine placing another brick into the foundation of your future every time you choose discipline. Most bricks appear insignificant. One brick cannot build a house, but thousands can. No one questions the value of another brick. Neither should you question the value of another disciplined decision. Every investment matters. Every choice matters. Every action matters. The people you admire today are standing on foundations they spent years building. Their confidence is not accidental. Their wisdom is not accidental. Their success is not accidental. Their peace is not accidental. They invested consistently while others searched for shortcuts. You can do exactly the same. One of the greatest mistakes people make is measuring their lives by feelings instead of principles. I don't feel motivated. I don't feel confident. I don't feel ready. I don't feel successful. Feelings are real, but they are temporary. If you allow every feeling to determine every action, your life will constantly move in different directions. Emotion changes. Principles remain. Successful people understand this. They still experience fear. They still experience doubt. They still experience frustration. They simply refuse to surrender their future to temporary emotions. Instead of asking, "How do I feel today?" they ask, "What does my future require today?" That question changes everything. You stop becoming a prisoner of emotion. You become a servant of purpose. That's the key. There will still be days when progress feels invisible. There will still be seasons when patience feels difficult. There will still be moments when comfort calls your name. Nothing in this audiobook promised an easy path. It promised a meaningful one. Remember the farmer, the athlete, the builder, the entrepreneur, the artist. None of them received rewards before preparation. Neither will you. But if you continue planting, if you continue practicing, if you continue waiting, if you continue choosing long-term freedom over immediate pleasure, your future will eventually reflect every disciplined decision you made. This is not hope. It is cause and effect. You become what you repeatedly do. That law has never changed. It never will. So stop asking whether today's effort is enough. Ask whether today's effort moves you closer to the person you intend to become. If the answer is yes, continue. If the answer is no, adjust. Then continue. Never stop because progress appears slow. Never stop because recognition has not arrived. Never stop because others seem ahead. You're not racing against them. You're building yourself. And building always takes time. Greatness has never belonged to the impatient. It belongs to those who continue after excitement fades. Those who remain after applause disappears. Those who keep promises no one else hears. Those who choose discipline when nobody is watching. Those who continue investing while others keep spending. Those who keep planting while others abandon the field. Those who understand that tomorrow is created today. Delay today. Win tomorrow. Repeat it. Delay today. Win tomorrow. Every difficult choice made today becomes tomorrow's confidence. Every sacrifice becomes tomorrow's opportunity. Every disciplined habit becomes tomorrow's identity. Every patient season becomes tomorrow's harvest. This is how extraordinary lives are built. Not through one defining moment, but through thousands of quiet moments that nobody celebrates, until one day, everyone notices the results. They call you fortunate. They call you talented. They call you successful. Only you will know the truth. Your future was never an accident. It was built. One choice, one habit, one sacrifice, one act of patience, one day at a time. The future is built today. Every decision builds tomorrow. Delay today. Win tomorrow. Carry these words with you long after this audiobook ends. Let them guide your mornings, strengthen your difficult decisions, and remind you that every act of discipline is a gift to the person you are becoming. Because in the end, the people the future rewards are not the ones who wanted success the most. They are the ones who were willing to wait for it. The lesson is simple. Every great life is purchased in advance. Success is not earned on the day the reward arrives. It is earned in every unseen moment when you choose discipline over comfort, patience over impulse, and purpose over pleasure. Every temptation you resist is building your future. Every distraction you ignore is sharpening your focus. Every sacrifice you make today is becoming tomorrow's freedom. Remember these words. Comfort disappears. Character remains. Pleasure fades. Discipline compounds. Impulse steals. Patience builds. The future is already watching the decisions you make today. So beginning now, stop asking what feels good in this moment. Ask what creates the life you truly want. Choose the harder path. Choose the longer reward. Choose the future. Because delayed gratification doesn't just help you succeed. Delayed gratification wins in the end. If this audiobook challenged the way you think, don't let it become another lesson you simply heard. Put it into practice today. Return to these chapters often. Train your discipline daily and become the person whose future is greater than their present comfort.